The morning had started too bright, too cheerful for what waited beneath the surface. Mom hummed off-key while packing sandwiches. Her smile looked painted on, brittle around the edges. Hugh gripped the steering wheel like it was alive. Every turn on the mountain road made his knuckles whiten. Beside him, my half-sister Myra filmed everything. "Family healing trip, day 1, she whispered into her phone. Her followers would eat this up. I told her to stop recording. She only grinned wider. Mom said, let her express herself. That was always her excuse for Myra. For everyone but me. The air in the car thickened with things unsaid. Hugh kept glancing at me in the rearview mirror, like measuring how much I could take before cracking. He'd made it clear for years I wasn't his problem. College isn't for everyone, he'd told me last month. Translation, not for you. When we crossed into the forest, silence took over. The pines pressed close, swallowing cell service. Mom joked about detoxing from technology. Myra rolled her eyes and kept typing notes anyway. By noon, we reached the campsite. Hugh directed where everything should go. Mom obeyed. Myra filmed. I followed orders because that's what kept peace. Dinner smelled of smoke and tension. Myra filmed herself roasting marshmallows. She titled the clip, Wilderness Challenge with My Stepsister. When she said my name, her smile looked sharp. I wanted to walk away, but Hugh's eyes pinned me down. Don't be dramatic, Mom warned. That's what they always said when I tried to speak. Later, when firelight softened their faces, Hugh stood. Lynn, go get more wood from the clearing we passed. His voice carried a tone that meant no argument. The clearing was dark and cold. I gathered branches until my arms ached. When I turned back, the forest was too quiet. No laughter. No light. Just emptiness stretching between the trees. I told myself they were joking. A stupid prank to film later. But an hour passed. Then 2. And I knew. The memory twists inside me even now. Their faces around the fire, pretending we were family. Their hands steady while planning my disappearance. Hugh's smirk when I mentioned applying for scholarships. Myra's secret videos, edited for likes. Mom's silence, always the loudest thing of all. They didn't forget me. They erased me on purpose. The thought settles like frost under my skin. I see it clearly now. The whole day was rehearsal. Every fake smile, every mocking word. They'd been testing how invisible I could become. And I passed with flying colors. I closed my eyes and breathed the night air. It tastes of smoke and betrayal. This is the family that raised me. This is the lesson they wanted me to learn. If they thought leaving me here would end me, they miscalculated. I was done needing them long before the forest swallowed their names. The forest breathes differently at night. Each sound feels sharper, closer, waiting. I grip the flashlight until my hand cramps. Its weak beam slices through the trees like a knife. Panic presses at the edge of my thoughts. I force myself to count every inhale, every exhale. The first rule of survival, stay calm. The second, move with purpose. I whisper those rules like a prayer. My breath turns white in the cold air. Somewhere in the distance, an owl cries. The sound makes my heart skip. I keep walking, following the faint trail markers. They glow pale under the moonlight. My boots crunch over dry leaves and hidden stones. Every shadow looks like a person watching. Every branch snap makes me turn. But no one is there. Only the forest and the echo of my fear. I think about the map in my pocket. 5 hours to the ranger station. It sounds impossible. But so does standing still. So I walk. My body shakes, not from cold but adrenaline. I sip the last of my water and ration each swallow. My mind tries to wander toward anger. Toward the question of why. But I can't afford why. Only how. How to keep going. How to stay alive. The forest opens briefly to clearing. The moonlight paints the ground in silver. For a heartbeat, it's almost beautiful. Then the silence returns, heavy and absolute. I hear my father's voice in memory. Courage isn't about not being afraid, kiddo. It's about walking through fear anyway. I whisper it aloud, needing the sound. It steadies me. Each step after that feels deliberate, chosen. I pass a stream and refill the bottle, boiling later in my head. The water tastes metallic, but it's life. Hours blur into one long breath. My legs burn. My throat aches. But the horizon starts to pale. Dawn crawls up behind the trees like mercy. Then light. A building, small, wooden, almost unreal. The ranger station. My knees nearly buckle. I climb the steps and knock with shaking hands. A woman opens the door, her face soft with shock. "Honey, are you okay?" I want to say yes, but the words come out broken. "They left me." She pulls me inside before I can fall. The heat hits me like a wave. My tears freeze halfway down my face. The ranger sits me by the fire, gives me water. Her eyes widen when she sees the note. "This is criminal," she mutters, reaching for the phone. I nod, too tired to answer. The world tilts gently. For the first time all night, I'm not alone. But loneliness has already carved itself into my bones. It will take more than warmth to melt it. Outside, the sun rises. I survive the night. And somewhere deep inside, a small voice whispers, "Never again." The ranger's office smells like coffee and wood smoke. A deputy arrives 2 hours later, notebook in hand. His name is Ortiz, calm voice, steady eyes. He asks me to start from the beginning. I tell him everything. The missing car. The note. The 5-hour walk in the dark. He listens without interrupting. When I finish, he exhales slowly. "This is abandonment on federal land," he says. "We'll treat it seriously." The words sound distant, unreal. Abandonment. A word that fits too perfectly. He offers me the station phone. "Do you want to call your family?" I shake my head. "I want to call my aunt, my father's sister." He nods, slides the phone toward me. My fingers tremble as I dial. It rings 3 times before she answers. Her voice is older, softer than I remember. "Lynn, sweetheart, is that really you?" The dam inside me breaks. I tell her everything through choked breaths. The trip, the note, the forest, all of it. She doesn't hesitate. "I'm coming to get you. Don't move. I'll drive all night." 8 hours later, headlights sweep across the parking lot. A small woman steps out, hair streaked with silver. She runs to me, arms wide, eyes full of tears. When she hugs me, I finally breathe again. Her coat smells like cinnamon and soap. "Let's go home," she says. Her home is a modest ranch at the foot of the mountains. Wind chimes sing softly on the porch. Inside, everything feels warm, lived in, safe. My old backpack sits by the door like an artifact. "You can stay as long as you need," she says. That night, I sleep without dreaming. The next morning, she brings a cardboard box from the attic. On it, my name, written in her careful script. "I've been sending you letters for years," she says quietly. Birthday cards, Christmas gifts, they always came back. Inside are envelopes, unopened, marked "Return to Sender." My throat tightens as I trace the handwriting. There's another folder beneath the letters. "Your father's trust fund," she says. $40,000 for your education." The papers show every withdrawal, every signature. My mother's name beside Hugh's. They emptied it 5 years ago. The betrayal hits like a physical blow. I see the new car, the renovated kitchen. The lies. Tears burn hot but don't fall. "I could take legal action," Aunt Mai says. "I don't want revenge," I whisper. "I just want a life that's mine." She smiles sadly. Then we'll build it. The next week, I enroll in a bookkeeping course. Numbers make sense in a way people never have. Order, logic, truth. I start work at a small auto shop. The owner, Di, gives me a chance without asking questions. For the first time in years, I belong somewhere. At night, I write my father's name on a blank page. It feels like reclaiming something sacred. This is what survival looks like now. Not fear, not flight, but rebuilding, one quiet, steady day at a time. The days at the garage fall into rhythm. Engines hum. Paperwork stacks. The scent of oil clings to everything. I learn faster than anyone expects. Invoices, inventory, systems, all start to make sense. Each number I balance feels like taking control back. Di watches quietly, never hovering. Good work, he says one afternoon. Just 2 words, but they land deep. Validation instead of criticism. Respect instead of fear. I begin to stand taller. Mornings start with coffee and purpose. Nights end with the soft ache of effort. It almost feels like peace. Until the door opens one day, and my past walks in. Myra's voice slices through the air first. Oh my God, she's actually working here. Every mechanic in the shop turns. Mom follows behind her, designer glasses hiding tired eyes. Hugh isn't there, but his shadow might as well be. My pulse pounds, but I don't move. Mom's tone is sharp, commanding. Pack your things, we're going home. The word home tastes like poison. No, I say before I can stop myself. It comes out steady, final. Mom blinks as if she misheard. This rebellion ends now, Lynn. I step forward, hands no longer trembling. You left me in the woods, I say. Congratulations, I found my way out. The room stills. Di emerges from his office, wiping grease from his hands. Is there a problem here? He asks. Family matter, Mom snaps. He folds his arms. This is my business, and she's part of it. Myra starts filming, phone raised like a weapon. Put that away, I tell her. My voice is firm, unshaking. For once, she obeys. Mom's smile fractures. She's barely qualified to pump gas. Di's reply is calm. She rebuilt my entire system in 3 days. Saved me $8,000 last month. You're welcome to check the numbers. Her lips tighten, color draining from her face. Myra looks smaller without her phone between us. Mom reaches out, grasping my wrist. We need to talk privately. I pull free, feeling the ghost of duct tape on my skin. We're done talking, I say. The bell over the door jingles. Aunt Mai steps inside, quiet but solid. Her gaze sweeps the room, calm as stone. Mom stiffens. You've built quite the little support system, she sneers. Yes, I answer. I finally have. The silence that follows feels holy. Mom turns sharply, grabbing Myra's arm. They leave without another word. The shop exhales with them. Martha, the office clerk, pats my shoulder. You handled that with more grace than they deserved. I manage a smile that feels real. That night, at dinner with Aunt Mai and Di's crew, I laugh. The sound startles me, light, unguarded. For the first time since the forest, it doesn't echo pain. Something new grows quietly in its place. Freedom, maybe. Or peace disguised as strength. A year passes like a slow sunrise. The garage hums with the rhythm of progress. My desk now has a brass nameplate. Lynn Nguyen, Operations Manager. I run my fingers across the letters, still in disbelief. The room that used to store broken parts is mine now. Fresh paint, neat files, steady purpose. I earned every inch of it. Di leans against the doorway, smiling. You planning to polish that thing all day? I laugh softly. Just taking it in. He nods, understanding more than he says. The article in the local paper sits, folded on my desk. Local garage defies industry downturn. My name printed in black and white. The girl they left in the forest runs operations now. I trace the words like they might vanish. Then the phone rings. A number I don't recognize. Lynn, it's Jordan, your mom's old neighbor. My chest tightens. She speaks quickly, voice low. Your mom asked me to reach out. Things aren't good. Hugh's business went under. He's being investigated for fraud. Myra's crypto thing blew up too. They might lose the house. I stare at the sunlight on my desk. That's unfortunate, I say softly. They need help, she adds. They said you're doing well now. I thank her and hang up. Silence fills the office like a storm about to break. The old guilt tries to whisper, but it fades. I owe them nothing. Later that night, Aunt Mai texts. Proud of you. Found a small house near Woodland Park. 2 rooms and a shed for your studio. I smile. My own space. My own rules. The next morning, an email waits in my inbox. Sender, Darla Nguyen. Subject, family emergency. Please help. I click it open. Her words spill across the screen. We've made terrible mistakes, Lynn. But we're still family. We just need $18,000 to stay afloat. Once things stabilize, we'll repay you. We've always been there for you. Always. The word twists like a knife. I picture the clearing. The note. The silence after the car drove away. They were never there. Not once. I close the email without replying. My pulse steadies instead of racing. I've learned what peace feels like. It's not forgiveness. It's distance. Aunt Mai calls that evening. You okay? I am, I say. I just need advice about boundaries. She laughs softly. Boundaries are love, Lynn. Love for yourself. I run my hand over the desk, grounding myself. The brass plate catches the light. It feels like a mirror, reflecting someone new. The woman staring back isn't the girl they abandoned. She's the one who built something from the ashes, who learned to survive without permission, and who finally understands that walking away isn't cruelty. It's freedom dressed in courage. The diner smells like burnt coffee and old secrets. I arrive 15 minutes early, nerves steady but awake. Aunt Mai sits beside me, bracelets chiming softly. Remember, she says, this meeting happens on your terms. I nod, eyes fixed on the back booth. They're already there. Mom's hair is dull, the dye uneven. Hugh looks smaller, shirt collar loose. Myra hunches over her phone, thumbs flying. They haven't noticed me yet. For the first time, I'm not afraid to look. When we walk over, Mom's face lights up too quickly. Lynn, thank God, she cries, arms wide. I step aside. Her hug catches only air. She blinks, unsure. Hugh stands halfway, offers a handshake. I ignore it, sliding into the seat opposite. Mai sits next to me, a calm wall of strength. Thank you for coming, Hugh says smoothly. His tone is pure performance. Mom reaches across the table. I keep my hands in my lap. We've been through a lot, she says. Family needs to stay together in hard times. Myra doesn't look up. The waitress brings coffee. The silence thickens with every clink of porcelain. Hugh clears his throat. The business failed. We just need a bridge loan, $18,000. Once we're back on our feet, we'll repay you. Mom nods eagerly. We've changed, Lynn. What happened in the woods was a terrible mistake. I laugh softly, no humor in the sound. A mistake. You left me to die. Her mouth opens, closes. We came back the next morning, she says quickly. You were gone. In mountain lion territory, I reply. Hugh waves a dismissive hand. You've always been dramatic. The same line. The same voice. I sip my coffee slowly, tasting the bitterness. They wait for me to speak, to bend, to save them. I reach for my purse. Their bodies lean forward in unison. I take out my checkbook. Mom's eyes shine with relief. Hugh exhales, already planning the money. I write carefully, each stroke deliberate. Tear the check free. Place it face up on the table. $21.50, I say. Mom frowns. What is this? The cost of the bus ticket from New Mexico to Colorado. That's all I ever owed you. The color drains from Hugh's face. This is ridiculous, he spits. After everything we've done for you. Like stealing my education fund. Silence. Their lies have nowhere left to hide. Mom's anger flashes, raw and ugly. Raising someone else's child isn't cheap. I slide a folder across the table. Bank statements. Proof. Her breath catches. Hugh stiffens, realizing there's nothing left to say. I don't want revenge, I tell them. I just don't want anything from you, ever again. Mom grabs my wrist, voice trembling. You can't walk away from family. I meet her eyes, steady and sure. You taught me how. I pull free. The sunlight outside feels clean. Mai starts the car but doesn't drive. How do you feel? She asks. I think for a moment. Free, I say finally. Absolutely free. As we pull away, I don't look back. The past stays small in the rearview mirror, where it belongs. Morning sunlight spills across the wooden floor. A full year has passed since that diner in Santa Fe. My small house sits quiet at the edge of the forest. The shed behind it is now a studio filled with sketches. On the wall hangs my father's portrait, smiling softly. The phone rings. It's Di. The board approved it, he says. General manager position is yours if you want it. I close my eyes, letting the words settle. From abandoned to chosen. From forgotten to trusted. Later, Aunt Mai arrives with friends and a birthday cake. They sing off-key, laugh too loud, fill the room with light. She hands me a small box. Inside rests a silver compass. So you'll always know which way is forward, she says. That night, I stand outside under a sky full of stars. The air is cold and clear, like a promise kept. I trace the compass between my fingers. The needle points north, steady, certain. I finally understand. Being lost once taught me how to find my way. Not through them. Through myself. And this time, I will never lose direction again.